Okay, I think I lost him. I gotta be quick before the death flags catch up. This is Jacob from That Time We Woke Up in a Podcast and Had to Explain Manga. Our heated adventures overanalyzing manga we find interesting, aka the Overmanga Cast. This last week of Spooktober, we read the parody one-shot manga Final Girl by Kokikuji You. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I lost the killer back there, which means he should be right behind. Yep, there he goes!
Enjoy the show.
Hello everyone, and welcome back once again to the Overmanga Cast in this, our final Spooktober episode of this year. This week, we decided to keep it a little simple with a one-shot, and what a appropriate one-shot for the theme. It's Final Girl. And, I mean, it's a one-shot. We don't usually talk too much about the usual opener question, unless anyone's got a tidbit to share.
I actually do have a bit of a tidbit for this one, funnily enough. This is something that I believe Matt had found it, had stumbled across it, and was like, oh, hey, here's a fun little silly Halloween-themed thing. I didn't think anything of it. You know, it's a one-shot, so it was quick and easy to read. And then I noticed there's a particular panel in this manga that I had gotten from a bunch of other friends. No context, just this one panel.
Oh, yeah, me too. I know the one you're talking about.
So I did. It was sort of funny to learn that that's where that comes from. I have the context now. It makes less sense.
It doesn't need to.
Yeah, when I said I found this, I mean I saw it on Reddit where someone had asked for the source of this meme.
Oh, excellent.
It all comes full circle. But yes, we begin with, what else could it be but a BuzzFeed article about top 10 pro tips to survive a horror movie.
I literally just noticed it has 666 stars or likes or whatever the thing is.
Mm-hmm.
I can
Nothing
only
could possibly go wrong.
I can only assume this is some form of BuzzFeed explicitly for isekai protagonist. Because the way the title of this article is like, find yourself in a horror movie, follow these pro tips to survive.
Oh, absolutely. This is completely just supposed to be like a parody of those annoying BuzzFeed articles. Those are ubiquitous.
Also, you remember how we were reading Call of the Night and we were like, main character looks kind of generic. This dude is a more generic version of the main character of Call of the Night.
It's fine. He doesn't need to be interesting for long.
Well, his aesthetic doesn't need to be interesting.
Yeah,
at least because we don't see him for very long.
Also, just going through, this is a one shot, obviously, but my dude's personality throughout this entire isekai adventure is an article he read on BuzzFeed.
Yes.
Nothing else, just...
Yes.
I mean, I guess I can just skip ahead and mention this. One thing I do like about the protagonist, and like this is very simple, very basic, but I like that, like, you know, he gets into a panic situation and, you know, he's able to, like, you know, take charge and get control of things, and you know, it's like that's sort of a really basic, really baseline thing for making the protagonist of a story endearing. But I like how dedicated he was to surviving and getting everything under control.
So after our main boy, who I don't think we get his real name, so I'm just going to call him Lampshade-kun because of all the lampshade hanging he does.
I was about to say, he's an isekai protagonist. We're lucky if they get names.
Yeah. So Lampshade-kun finishes reading his article on what I can only presume is the webpage for whatever company it is that makes the truck-kuns that run over other isekai protagonists.
I mean, really.
And we find that he is working a graveyard shift at anonymous business 18795. As he's finishing up his energy drink break. It's like, hey, can you go get some dinner? The rest of the staff is starving.
So he heads over to the convenience store, and I believe it's on the way back he sees a poster for An 80s slasher flick. How about that? It's almost like he was just reading a BuzzFeed article about this.
Poster is a little downplaying it. This is a billboard on the top of a building for the re-release of an 80s slasher movie. And I'm just like, man, that's that movie.
To be fair, it is the building it's on is a movie theater, so it does make sense, but still.
It's still very large for a re-release. Like
18th day sacrifice. And Lampshade-kun sees this. His vision goes a little blurry and he collapses. Just dies of a heart attack, I guess.
He dies of being overworked, or like
That's the real moral of this. Get an appropriate work-life balance. Otherwise, you end up like this fucker.
Doesn't even get a visit from Truck-kun. How sad.
Mm-hmm.
We get a page of the narration in a movie that wouldn't actually happen.
Yeah. So apparently, this begins with a narrator explaining the movie in a way a trailer would introduce you to it. But this is the movie. This is the movie starting, and it's just like, in a world with an evil lake and and it's like, that's not how the actual movie begins.
Yeah. Let's begin well, it's almost like bumper on like FX or something, just some late night movie marathon to fill a time slot on a TV channel. Let's begin a classic from the golden age of slasher horror.
You know the thing about all these 70s horror movies, they start with long panning shots of car rides. We just cut all of that shit because we're late night movies.
We have to fit this into 90 minutes. We had to cut out some extraneous stuff. But we have a girl wake up on a bed and immediately begins talking as our protagonist. So there you go. MC-kun has not only been isekai'd, he's also been transmogrified into a buxom young lass, I guess.
A blonde 18-year-old cheerleader, otherwise known as like horror movie like trope essential.
Horror movie fodder.
Yeah.
Scream queen, yeah.
Scream queen, yes, that is the actual term.
He gets like he wakes up, is like, wait, I'm a girl? Oh, wow, I've got boobs. Wait a minute, what's going on? And he gets like a Sword Art Online like ID card.
He gets like a little like electronic data card or some such nonsense.
Is he the only one who can see them though?
Yes.
I believe so.
Throughout, because all of the characters that will inevitably obviously be introduced to, they have their own cards, but obviously our protagonist is the only one who can see any of these cards.
Either he's the only one that can see them, or everyone else is just really committing to the bit.
Or they just don't care. Like, I don't know.
What I don't understand is they already introduced the isekai concept of the narrator explaining the movie. So wouldn't it have made more sense for the narrator to introduce the characters, not MMO pop-up clip? Like,
I mean, maybe, but
whatever.
We're thinking too hard about this. The appropriate the relevant stuff is name, summer, data, university cheerleader, Ricky's girlfriend, number of previous partners.
32. Oh, yeah.
By age 18.
She basically just went to a frat party and just run train. Or she hooked up with multiple boys lacrosse teams.
That's just impressive, honestly.
Gross, but impressive.
It's one of those cases where it's like, it would be no judgment if it weren't for the fact you're in a tropey horror movie, because as established by the extremely subtle opener, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Also, for the casual listeners at home, that would be 3 boys lacrosse teams and 2 for change.
Well, you see, the last 2 were summer hookups.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
That was her down season.
Anyway,
MC-kun instantly twigs to the fact that, okay, this is bad. I'm in a horror movie and I am very
I'm not
prolific.
The purest character. Crap.
And I've been reincarnated into a very prolific, a very sexually active character.
that's bad in a horror movie universe.
And then he's like, okay, so I just need to stay cognizant of what's going on. I need to find a way out of this. And Hey, Summer, sorry to keep you waiting, babe. Let's have sex now. As another character walks in.
Yeah, her boyfriend Ricky, who looks shockingly similar to Ban from Seven Deadly Sins, but we're going to move past that.
This is basically a lot of fangirls' fantasies, so we're just not going to acknowledge that. It's pretty popular.
I love his little data card because it's Ricky, university football team, Summer's boyfriend, wants to have sex with Summer. That's it. That's all you need.
That's his personality, yes.
I mean, that's pretty accurate.
One of my favorite groups of two panels is her reading "Wants to have sex with Summer." Oh shit! And diving
I'm
off the bed.
Summer.
I'm Summer. Wait a minute.
Another thing. Maybe you guys who follow sports might know this, but if he's a freshman, I'm guessing freshman in college, would he be fully on the football team?
It just says he's on the football team, so yeah, not like.
I don't know. I don't think they actually get playtime. Is what I'm getting at. So I'm just like
playtime. If you're going to a school, like you're not just going there to train.
Maybe.
I don't know how sports ball works.
Yeah, me neither. Poor MC-kun is trying to
evacuate the situation.
Evacuate. Also, I'm the dude in a woman's body. I don't like this.
This is causing a lot of dysphoria. I can't be a part of this right now. I do not consent. Ooh, playing hard to get, huh? This is pretty fresh.
Yeah. No, Ricky does sound like he's out of a 70s horror movie going like, oh man, she sure is playing hard to get.
That's hot.
Man, if you ever want to just watch casual misogyny that everyone's just totally okay with, 70s movies are just a great place to go for that.
You're not wrong.
Thankfully, the imminent sexual assault scene is interrupted by the famous panel we're talking about, the meme of they look to the side and there, under the bed, masked man with machete.
I mean, don't you guys?
I'm just looking over at him.
Hey.
We have Jason Voorhees at home.
Like, to fully elaborate, this masked man with machete underneath the bed is drawn with a level of detail not seen in the rest of this manga, like Shigaraki's face in Boku no Hero. Like,
yeah, I mean, they can't get away with the fact that most of his face is just a blank mask. So,
but like even the blank mask is detailed with like really intricate shading and every single like scratch and chip on the mask. That it is absolutely hilarious.
But of course, our lovebirds, I guess, flip out, and the serial killer either flees or trips on a loose blanket. One way or another, he is flung out the window. I'm not entirely sure.
I can't tell, but he does make an appearance later on.
I think what it is he goes to try to slash them, trips on the blanket, and then chooses to leave.
And then just dips. You know what? Screw it. I'm out of here.
The mood has been ruined.
The killer is also a voyeur because he was totally waiting for him to get it on, and he's like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love how poor MC couldn't even thinks that. It's like, yeah, if we'd stayed on that bed, I know what would have happened.
So you get a little death premonition of the machete coming up through Summer's back.
Yep.
And a gloriously gory blood spray.
Marvelous. Anyway, so of course this reflective moment is interrupted by very untimely entrance of, I guess, the rest of their party.
Yeah, the rest of the cast and their flashcards.
Jeez, I just love their attitude of, geez, we knew you were having sex, but damn it, just keep it down.
Calm down and like quiet down already.
We're trying to watch a movie.
We got my boy Wayne, who's the smartest of the five, but looks like he's 40.
Yeah.
I also like how like the entire time I'm like, so Wayne's the killer, right?
He's got the Jeffrey Dahmer glasses, like.
Oh my god!
Well, it's one of those ones where he keeps talking about how he's the smartest one, and then keeps making the most monumentally stupid decisions possible, seem tailor-made to kill the rest of them.
I love PJ because he is basically what would be in a movie like The Stoner of the group, But because this is Japan, they don't go that far as to say he does drugs. They're just like, yeah, he's a goofy prankster. And I'm like, you've made Shaggy from Scooby-Doo then.
The way that Wayne is drawn, I don't know if the mangaka did this on purpose, but it makes me think about that endless trope of actors who are actually in their like 20s who are playing kids in their teens.
Because to be fair, this is an 80s or a 70s or 80s slasher movie. So
But the thing is, like, even back then, like, they were better about it, I feel.
Oh, no, they weren't.
Yeah.
The 70s was really bad with like, we got this group of kids out there. And it's like,
I think we might be watching different movies because I was actually like really honored by that because there were a lot of like all the Telltale slashers where they actually use teens. And I'm like, this is great.
It depends on the movie because the ones that are remembered for being good were good about that sort of thing, but that's the nature of hindsight because there was a lot of not good slasher movies from that era.
And I guess they didn't make the cut. That's why I don't know about them.
Indeed.
I watch Red Letter Media, so I'm familiar with the track, but yeah.
The other fun bit is that we get one of them labeled as Final Girl, and I love the first line of her like little data card is no noteworthy personality trait.
Yeah, good old Lucy.
That's mean. It's not necessarily inaccurate, but it's very, very mean.
Hey, they say noteworthy. They don't go out like super harsh and say she doesn't have a personality. She has one. Just very milquetoast.
Yeah, I mean, Drywall has a personality too, I guess. Like,
yeah, but Lucy is the final girl, and so MC-kun is immediately like, "Wait a minute, you're the one that survives. I'm going to glue myself to you. We are not out of each other's sight. You will get me out of here alive."
And then because she has now been like, well, I got to stick with Lucy. For some reason is then taken away by PJ, who's just like, hey, man, it'd be totally cool if I put on this mask that looks identical to the killer's so I could pretend to be the killer and really scare everyone. That'd be messed up, right? Yes, it would. What the hell?
Yes, that would be extremely messed up. And like grabs him by the shirt collar, presses him against the wall. That's why you're not going to do that. Do you understand me? Yes, I understand you. Good. Now give me the mask.
and they shatter it. Yeah. Absolutely no pranks. Yes, ma'am.
Because right now she's just on Operation Get Rid of All Depth Flags. Like I'm.
Mm-hmm.
I think they say that out loud a few times.
Basically.
Yeah.
Another death flag broken.
Meanwhile, the Fred Jones of the group does the reasonable thing and says everyone should split up and look for clues.
Leave the basement to you to go by yourself.
Yeah. This dude sends Summer.
Like, do you hate me or something?
Well, that's the thing. Summer's 18, so she's the youngest of the group too. And he's going to send her down to the basement by herself.
It's like, excuse me?
Like, he sends Ricky and Lucy together too. Like, but Ricky is Summer's boyfriend. Like,
That's why you have to separate them. If you just have them down there together, they're just gonna get distracted.
They're just going to start boning again and summon the serial killer.
But yeah, this is the point where I'm like, okay, so is the twist going to be that he's the killer? Because he's very obviously trying to. No, it's the universe that wants MC-kun killed in Summer's body.
in all fairness, he also does give himself the very suspicious job of, I'm going to go check the van.
Yeah.
Oh my God. This guy.
MC-kun immediately freaks out. It's like, You can't just send me into the basement by myself, you dumbass. I'm just a weak little girl. I can't defend myself.
Whoa, Ricky, what's going on with your lady? Oh, dude, don't worry about it. We just didn't get to bone. She's a little high strung.
These assholes. And then there's PJ, who's still terrified of MC Codified Summer.
But God bless Lucy. She shows up and is like, okay, no, her concerns are entirely reasonable. I'll just go look around with her, okay? Fine. So be it then. It's like, why are you so pissed about this, man? You claim to be Mr. Smart Guy. You're making
really stupid decisions that seem like they're designed to get people killed.
Most head-assed ideas. Fine then, Lucy and Summer will search the basement. And Lucy, if anything happens, you call for us. What if anything happens to me? I don't care.
I mean, this panel is, if you've ever seen Cabin in the Woods, where the government operatives press the mind-altering gas of like, why do we keep making terrible decisions?
Yeah, this like entire sequence would be right at home in Cabin in the Woods, a 70s slasher film, and so we are just about halfway through, and it hasn't been lascivious enough yet. So the girls go into the basement, and of course, Lucy, Summer's already
skimpy outfit.
Skimpy like booty shorts are further torn up by a rusty nail sticking out of the wall.
Yeah,
I hate it when that happens. So inconvenient.
She's wearing Daisy Dukes and like a top that I would not even call a crop top. I'm not really sure what it is.
What do you mean? It is a crop top. It is a crop top. She has voluptuous assets, and that's not something she should be shamed about.
You know what? Fair.
Crop top with big titty.
Thank you, Sam.
You're welcome. It's like, wow, a knife sticking out of the wall. This really is.
It's not a knife. It's like a rusty nail, you know?
Yeah, rusty nail. The knife is what happens next. Falling out of the ceiling for no reason. To split open the crop top a little bit to show more cleavage.
I don't think they ever even explain that either. That just happens.
Nah, it just does.
Well, main character then goes on a rant about like, oh, I guess the universe is just conspiring to show as much of my skin as possible. And I'm like,
yes,
probably.
You don't understand. This is actually the MO for the serial killers is they have to make it so that you are overtly sexual. Otherwise, they can't kill you. It's rules.
I mean, in this universe, that's explicitly true is the thing.
So, I mean, if she were like wearing a t-shirt and like regular jeans, couldn't kill her. Unkillable.
Well,
yeah, that's sort of the situation with Lucy, isn't it?
But like after this Deus Ex Machina happens to main character Kun, I know Sam's normally the one who makes obscure tabletop RPG references, but you know, I'll give a dive. This is like if you had a World of Darkness character and you took like 3 dots and jury rig, because main character Kun, there's a bike down here, proceeds to in like a split second build and saw it into some kind of pushing apparatus where the bike seat is on the end of a long pole with 2 of the handlebars at the bottom and then also a bike mirror halfway through the shaft.
So you have a weapon that will allow you to push away the serial killer
at a distance.
At a safe distance. And the bike mirror means that you won't be snuck up upon from behind.
And most importantly, it cannot be used lethally against you if it's taken away from you.
Unlike, say, a hatchet or a knife or a gun or anything, really. So, you know what? That's honestly some good thinking.
And as almost if the universe could hear all the good thinking and planning that was going on between these 2 women.
Uh-huh.
Lucy suddenly, out of nowhere, first goes, wow, you're so impressive. I could never do anything notable like that. Hey, Summer, you want to take a shower?
No.
This is a bad idea.
No, I've seen Psycho. I don't want to take a shower. Oh, but you're all covered in like dirt and grime, and like you got all sweaty from the panic with the serial killer.
It's the middle of the night, and we're being actively hunted by a serial killer. You need a shower.
Oh, come on, let's just go. And starts pushing her up the stairs. So MC-kun has to be like, okay, but you're taking a shower with me. Next panel, they're both in the shower.
My God. With the stupid bike.
With the bike pushing device.
We couldn't let the Steam do all of the censorship detail here.
And then again, completely unprompted, Lucy has to tell Summer about her dreams of being a singer.
Because
Yeah.
that's relevant. Yes.
I mean, also, not to disparage people who are really good singers, but someone saying their dream is to become a singer is one of the most generic dreams.
A singer or a dancer?
In all fairness, her dream is also just she wants to become a singer. Not sing anything particular, just, I want to be a singer.
I want to be on stage.
Well, at least she didn't say she wanted to be like a Broadway actress or something. Sing on Broadway.
Well, yeah, then people might have negative opinions about Broadway and be like, no, I hope this bitch dies. You can't have that. You need milquetoast that you feel sorry for.
I
Yeah.
don't feel sorry at all. I feel like I would feel sorry if she actually had a goal in mind.
A more specific goal.
But it's like, man, MC-kun's been doing such a good job of avoiding these death flags. I wonder if anything's going to happen as they're having this heartfelt moment. I stab through the shower curtain right between the two of them.
I hate it when that happens.
And now both girls must flee naked from the serial killer.
You know, you say that.
Yeah, because Lucy...
Okay, so they are
Summer-
naked. Lucy somehow MacGyvers her clothes back. Or
Back on. Yeah, when like Summer blinks.
It's some real Clark Kent changing in the phone booth action there.
Like, Summer stole the shower curtain and then, like, MacGyvered it into a, like, dress? Like...
Yeah, kind of.
Pretty much.
Which, just, I want to know what MC Kun did for a living that he can MacGyver all these things. Until I hear otherwise, he worked at a patent office.
You know what?
I believe it.
They flee into the night. The van is on fire.
Which Wayne did a terrible job of checking the van.
He really did. Good job, asshole.
He's
And
that,
now
he's
it
that
is-
kind of person who does everything he touches lights on fire.
Look, I want to know what the ulterior motive of these three guys are, because we also mentioned Lucy's fully clothed now, right? Just
yes.
they see the van burning. It's now thunderstorming out. It's also very cold out, despite the fact it's in the middle of summer, so they can see their breath. Like, everything is coming to a head of just like the killer is chasing down these two girls. And we cut to all three guys up on the balcony just going like, hey, what's going on out there? I'm just like, why aren't you guys in separate places searching like you said you were?
And even if you did like go back and rendezvous, why didn't you go out searching again when you noticed 2/5 of your freaking party missing?
There is also a fun bit of the killer is outside somewhere. Lucy, run for it! And MC Kun, Summer is here too.
Well, you weren't supposed to be. That's not in the script.
But because obviously no one can ever help, the two girls are chased to the barn. And because we need exposition to happen right here, there's a clock in the barn that Summer notices it's 7 a.m. And it's summer and the sun hasn't risen yet. Also, it's 7 a.m. despite the fact the entire night we've watched happen and there's been no time skips.
Yeah, look, it's Matt, repeat to yourself, it's just a show. I should probably relax.
No. If I don't complain about like numbers not being correct in a podcast, what am I even doing?
Yeah, you do have to maintain character.
That is fair. Maintain kayfabe.
Yep.
The fun bit, actually, yeah, they've barricaded themselves in the barn, and MC Kun is not maintaining kayfabe as Summer because they just basically assert themselves as the main character,
Okay,
and have a pretty freaking cool moment.
All right, it's time to fight. Lucy, no matter what happens, this world loves you, so you're going to achieve that dream of yours once this night ends. So come at me, asshole! It is honestly pretty cool, using the power of the tropes against the killer. MC Kun gets in a grapple with the killer so that he can't bring his axe to bear. And Lucy uses the pushing mechanism. It happened. Chekhov's gun is fired, driving both of them towards the back wall, where there is like a whole Dracula-style, like, wooden stake poking out of it.
Doesn't your barn have a stake the size of like a baseball bat just hanging in the wall?
No.
As someone who did indeed have a barn until a little while ago, there are plenty of sharp implements you could impale yourself on in a barn. That's not one of them that's normally there.
Yeah, definitely not. And it looks like MC-kun and the killer are about to be, well, Goku and Raditz, actually.
I also don't exactly know how she dodges this,
Me neither.
but whatever.
I think she's supposed to have twisted her shoulder out of the way because they make a point of not showing her like from the chin down. Like given how small they've established Summer is relative to the killer.
Yeah.
It is possible.
I guess it's just the way they frame the impact panel. Is it supposed to like make you believe it's gone through her? Except it shares a page with her being okay, so I'm not really understanding the point. Like, but
well, yeah, it's one of those ones where it's like if this was motion comic or something where it like brought the panels in one by one, like an online version, then that would work really well. But
no matter how it happened, Summer is fine, meaning that the curse of the slasher movie is broken.
I also, like Lucy mentions, you really do have an eye for things sticking unnaturally out of walls, don't you?
It comes with the territory.
hey, it doesn't have to just be walls.
Hey.
I like how because the slutty character didn't die first, no one died.
That is kind of true.
No one died. That we know of. We don't know what happens to the boys.
Yeah, the boys kind of just vanish out of the story at this point.
Well, they explicitly say, hey, should we go back for the guys? Nah, they're worthless.
Let's just call the cops and abandon them. And so they start hitchhiking, and random
movie
guy
producer finds them and then says, hey, you girls want to make a movie?
You girls want to get into show business? You talking about your dreams of being singers? I happen to be a producer. I don't know why, but he looks like Stan Lee to me.
He does.
Well, the way they set it up is that this is going to be another serial killer. MC Kun notices the credits in the sky, the end, and then wait, why is this still going? And that's when we get the as it turns out, I'm in showbiz. Here's my card.
I like how the art style shifts on him when it's just like, by the way, I'm in show business. And then you get the narrator appearing again, but it's all with like bubbly font to show that it's a completely different narrator going like, and that's how those two girls found out that the number one slut on campus, an ordinary college girl, going off to be singers in New York City.
Oh, yeah.
Will their friendship survive the rivalry and battles over love that take place in show business? Final Girls, the Cinderella story that took the states by storm begins now.
Poor MC Kun is resigned to his fate. Fine, I guess we're doing this now. The end. At least for us.
Yep. That poor bastard is still lost.
We get to leave.
Oh man. So yeah. That was a good bit of fun. Nice short one shot.
A nice one shot about a final girl for the final reading of our Halloween Spooktober.
Indeed. Well, it's kind of hard to say favorite character because there's really only like 3.
PJ.
PJ's pretty good.
I say, I mean, like the characters are thin, but this is also a loving send up of slashers. So yeah. So we've got PJ, we've got Lucy. Any particular reasons for those two picks?
I just like PJ because he did the stupid thing you always see of like the stoner character going like, man, that'd be really cool if we did that. And normally the reason is the dude is stoned. That's why he thinks this terrible idea is a good idea. This dude's just the like villain from Scream.
Yeah, like, basically.
Like, oh yeah, man, we'll totally pretend to be the killer, right?
You're just gonna stab somebody, aren't you? No. Taking that in mind, I liked Wayne. Not for any like virtues, but for like the irony of supposed smart character holding the idiot ball the whole damn time. He was dribbling that thing.
I've got a side theory that Wayne and Ricky are actually secret lovers and they used the excuse to get together. That's why he's so mad.
If there was a conspiracy between the three boys to kill Summer in particular, it would not shock me.
Yeah, I believe that. That sounds right.
We never actually do find out who the killer is. We just know that it can't be. We get the scene where the killer is chasing them with the three of them on the balcony, I guess to establish that none of them are the killer. But
yeah, and the killer is also physically too large to be any of the boys.
oh,
so.
Sam, have you never seen a horror movie? That doesn't matter at all.
You're right.
Also, being on the balcony doesn't matter all that much either, truth be told. We never see them in the same shot.
You don't understand. We just used a hologram of a pirate ship that displayed on the midnight fog, made it appear like there were ghost pirates. So we can get the insurance money for our failing business.
Good old Scooby-Doo.
It's the 60s.
Yeah, this does have those Scooby-Doo vibes.
I bring up that one because that's ridiculous, but then I just remembered one of the mystery solutions in Scooby-Doo is that the living robot was real.
Yes. The living robot was actually a living robot.
He is an android that we programmed to play with the kids.
Yeah.
I remember that episode.
Unlike the other episodes of Scooby-Doo you don't want to remember. Like the Chinatown episode. That's aged kind of poorly.
I mean, yeah, old cartoons, they do that. But yeah. Thus brings us to the end of our reading and the end of this episode.
I never gave a favorite character.
Oh, well, I can do that then.
Go ahead and say Summer. Come on.
Well, specifically MC couldn't, because we don't really see Summer specifically. I do like take charge protagonists like that, and for as little personality as anybody got, I like the badass moment at the end when confronting the killer.
I gotta say the pacing and length of this was like just right.
Oh yeah. It wasn't long enough to get annoying. Like there's a part of me that kind of would have liked to have seen a longer one, but I feel like it would have eventually worn out its welcome. So this is probably the perfect length.
This is the kind of 3 a.m. like plot idea you have. It's like, what if a guy who knew all about death flags in horror movies was in a horror movie and knew it? and then you like go to sleep and wake up and you're like,
that's a stupid idea.
That idea would last 5 minutes before it stopped being interesting.
So, funny story. Have you ever seen the movie You Might Be the Killer?
I have not.
It's a very similar premise where a guy wakes up in a summer camp and someone has been murdered. So he calls his friend who's like really into horror movies. And she's just like, oh, geez, yeah, if you got to survive this horror movie, I can walk you through this. They don't call the cops for some convoluted reason. Oh, it's because he was at the murder site and he's worried if they call the cops, they're going to blame him. And as it's going through, it's coming to the conclusion of the horror movie friend is like, no, it sounds like you're the murderer here. Are you sure you don't remember doing that? And he's just like, no, everyone's just looking for murder. I'm just defending myself. It's like, you sure? It really sounds like you're doing it. It's a good movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that one up. But yeah, unless there's any closing thoughts from anyone else.
It's a fun little trope send up. If you haven't read it, it's super short. I do recommend it. That one panel isn't the only great part of it, because
yep, if you got a spare half hour, go for it. It's a good time. And thus brings us to the end of the episode. Thank you everyone once again for tuning in to the Over Manga Cast and this year's Spooktober. As always, you can find us on all of your social medias, where we are at OverMangaCast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Make sure to follow us on there and shoot us some suggestions that we probably won't get to till next year, because it's the end of a year. That means theme months.
Holiday season. We are also on YouTube, where you can like, comment, and subscribe. The episodes go up on a 2-week delay. That's a good place to send us comments and feedback as well.
And of course, visit overmangacast.com, your one-stop shop for all of our episodes and methods of getting in touch with us.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we love any and all responses, reviews, whatever. And, as we said, unfortunately, we've got a couple in the tank that we're just pushing back because we do theme months this time of year because we make good decisions. And as we bring Spooktober to a close, Unfortunately, that means we have to go into No Read November, where no one reads books because these two idiots I'm with love writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Jay over here being not literary people.
Okay, so last year was such a interesting experience. What could we be starting off this year's No Read November with?
Hey, whatever we have at the front of the list, I just found out they made a sequel to the Full Metal Alchemist movie we watched, so we're doing that instead.
I think you broke Sam.
I think he legitimately disconnected. You back, buddy? You still have to watch this.
You can't escape.
Guys, I think I'm going to have internet trouble for the next month.
No. We will be watching Full Metal Alchemist, The Revenge of Scar. And considering the care and real just dedication to the fans they put into the first movie, I'm sure they'll put an equal amount into The Revenge of Scar, which I'm sure is covering some arc. I don't know what, considering the first movie ended pretty conclusively.
We're going to Ishval, I guess.
I guess, but I guess the homunculuses are still. We'll find out.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. See you next week, folks. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Right.
Oh, guys, did we leave the back door open? Oh God, murderers!
Ah!